So you're 16 years old, you're straight out of school, you need to find a company that will take on an apprentice and do 1 day a week at college. Then 4 years later, you're qualified. That's the only way to become an electrician. Or is it? Toolbox Talks for Electricians, loading electricians with the tools and the skills they need to reduce stress, gain back time, and earn more money. Welcome back once again. My name is Ben Poulter, your host, and this podcast, I think it's been long awaited for a lot of listeners because I've been asked so many times, how do I get started to become an electrician? And the thing is, there is a number of different ways to be able to become an electrician. With a lot of electricians, they say that you need to do a 3 or a 5 year apprenticeship. And those guys are convinced that it's the only way to be a good electrician and to get on and actually be successful in the electrical trade. And I'll be honest, I thought the same. I thought that you could only do an apprenticeship. That's the only way you're going to be a fully qualified, decent electrician. All these 10-week courses that some electricians take, a lot of us called them the Kellogg's cornflake qualifications. They weren't worth the paper they're printed on. But the reason for that is because I've met electricians who have done these courses and they were pretty much useless. They didn't know anything of how to wire a simple lighting circuit. They couldn't do it. They'd learned it, had seen it at college, but on site, they didn't have a clue whether to drop down to the switch or where the switch wire went. It's hard to think, hang about, you're a qualified electrician and you haven't got a clue how to do this. I had one subcontractor turn up to a site once and he said, I specialise in second fixing. Well, as an electrician, you'll know that that's the easy part, mate. Like, everyone can do second fixing. It's the wiring and the containment that proper electricians do. The choices of cable, the choices of containment even. That's what you need to know your stuff when being an electrician. So that's where my opinion of all these 10-week or 15-week, 16-week courses came from. However, after talking to a couple of guys inside of the Toolbox Talks for Electricians group who have actually built a very successful business as an electrician in the electrical industry, so I found out that, well, I'm pretty much wrong. That's a wrong thing to think that you have to do a 3 to 5 year apprenticeship as a 16-year-old snotty little kid. That's not the only way you need to do it. It is definitely a good route to take, being an apprentice for a company and getting the actual on-site experience as you train. Because as you may well know, experience is the key factor that makes a good electrician. It's a huge advantage being on site to be able to put into practice what you actually taught at college. You're not just seeing it in a book and seeing the illustrations or the wiring diagrams. You can see it in real life. You see it on site. It's a massive advantage. It was for me. And an extra bonus, if you work as an apprentice, you'll always be working with an electrician. So if you're not sure or you do something wrong, I can guarantee you the electrician will go, you're an idiot, you've done it wrong. Or you can ask some questions and say, look, mate, how does this actually work? Why does the red go there? Or red, sorry, that's back in when I first started. The brown even, the brown line. Why does the brown go there? Why does the neutral go there? What do you use on 3-core with the 3-phase supply? There's all these questions that you can ask an electrician because you need to know, and you can ask them in real life. But unfortunately, an apprenticeship, it doesn't pay a lot. When you're 16-year-old and you don't have a mortgage or kids to support, it's not such a big deal. The £500 a week you get goes on clothes or going out with your mates. But when you're a little bit older, you obviously have responsibilities. You've sort of built a life and you've got to be earning good money to be able to pay for the training, let alone the bills at home. So in the name of research, I went to good old Google and I typed in how to become a qualified electrician. Well, the first ones that popped up were ads at the beginning, the first 4, which is pretty surprising because although I know there's plenty of guys out there that want to become an electrician, I didn't think there was a need for ads on Google to say, hey, become an electrician. So of course, I clicked on the top one. And I must say I was impressed. It had a very well-built website and had plenty of logos on there, convincing me that this was a good course with the sitting gills, qualifications that you can get, because obviously they had the logo on there. You can't put a logo on there if you can't actually give sitting gills qualifications, or so I thought. But I couldn't find out on this website how much the training would cost or it didn't explain the qualifications that you actually got to become a qualified electrician, what you need that are recognised in the industry, even on site, or if it's your CSCS card or your JIB Gold card. So I had to go out a step further and I give him a call. It was sort of 7 o'clock at night, but I thought, well, I'll leave a message and get someone to call me back. But someone answered at 7 o'clock at night. And after being on the phone for sort of 20 minutes, I realised what was happening. He was a salesman. He was trying to make me sign up for the electrical training course. With all the questions that I asked, he gave me some crazy answers. And as being an electrician, and back in the day when I was younger, I worked on site, and they need to see maybe your qualification as an electrician. You need to be registered with a JIB possibly to work on site. So I asked him, do you get Sitting Guilds qualifications? He said no, but they're outdated anyway, and they're not really recognised any longer in the industry. I don't think that's right to start with. And so I said to him, will I be able to be registered with NAPIT or NIC to sign off work with the qualifications that you give me? He said, well, you can be, but you'll have to lie to them and say that you've been an electrician for 2 years. He said, but who's going to know? So you can just tell them that. Well, surely if they see your qualifications, they'll see when it's dated and you haven't been qualified for 2 years. Does it matter to the NIC or the NAPIT if you've been, how long you've been qualified for? Which I think it should, because you need the experience to be able to work in people's houses, to be able to sign off this work in Part P. All he was giving me was a basic sales pitch. He was slating every other course out there as well to make sure that I didn't go looking elsewhere. He was even saying that JTL was a bad company to go with. Well, that's who I got qualified with 20 years ago. You know, when you're on a call and you just feel like it's hard to get rid of this guy. It just felt like he's going to complete scam. And when he was telling me the price, I asked, how much would it cost? How much would these courses cost for me to take and to become qualified? And he told me, if you sign up today, they offered a 20% discount. All right. So it was a bit of an incentive to sign up and give him my money on the dot now, that night when he was on the phone. So in my eyes, it just seemed like he must be on a bonus or some sort of commission to get people to sign up to that electrical training course. So it left a bad taste in my mouth and, well, I hung up. But it makes me realise now that this is why there's so many electricians out there that haven't got a clue what they're doing. They've got the qualification, they've got that bit of paper that says, I'm a qualified electrician. But chuck something in their hand and say, right, fit that. They haven't got a clue. They maybe haven't seen that before. So they can't fit it. They can't fit a Star Delta motor. They don't understand how dangerous, or to maybe reverse a motor. When, if you're an electrician, you know that you change a couple of phases that will reverse the motor. But they maybe don't know this. And maybe they've forgot it in the book because they've never done it before. So experience is key. And there's so many people out there that are on site doing the actual work that are more than likely leaving these installations pretty dangerous. I'm assuming all these guys that become qualified through these sort of 10-week courses, they're fed all these lies of how you can make 35 grand a year easy, just doing car charges. Because that's what the guy said on the phone. And I assume you can. But these car chargers, the new ones, they're free phase. And you need to be a bit experienced to be able to install these, not just a 15 months in the classroom. And doesn't that make you think now that you know why half these car chargers, they don't work around the country? They've all got an out of order sign on them, or you can't use them because they're probably being installed by some of these guys that have gone on a 16-week course, maybe done loose connections, maybe not tested it right. So they've gone faulty after they can't have been in for more than 24 months because they've only just come around. The electric car chargers, it only just spiraled out of control in the last 2 years. So they're not even that old and they've gone faulty. So my advice to anyone who wants to become an electrician, don't Google it. Don't get talked into sign up to one of these courses and pay over 7 grand for the qualifications that may or may not be recognised in the electrical industry. You might not be able to get registered with Part P, which if you're going to do domestic work, you need that to be registered with Part P. Because I've got a feeling that you'll probably regret it over time. So after finding out which courses you don't want to do, I had to find one that was good. I had to find something. So I carried on with my research and I phoned up the local college And again, I couldn't get the prices off the website. So I phoned her up and his phone call went a lot better. And the lady just gave me all the information that I needed without trying to sell me anything. She was telling me that yes, you have to start off on your level 1, which is for complete beginners, which is around £1,000. And even when you apply for the course, she said that depends in what situation you're in, you could possibly get this funded to either get part of the course paid for or you get it for free, which I thought, well, that's going to be a massive advantage for maybe some guys that are out of work or they may be working in a low paid job. I think you have to earn over 18 grand a year to be able to qualify. So that was a bonus sort of thing. This other internet courses, they can't offer that. That's not something they can do. So then you move on to your level 2, which is around £1,300. And then level 3, which was about 3,200 quid. So it goes up. The more and more advanced you get as an electrician, it costs more to do. Each course, level 1, level 2 and level 3, they took around a year to do. All these courses that you take in your local college, or the lady that I spoke to, she said, yes, you get a sitting guilds qualification. Well, that is what you want. That is what's recognised everywhere. Yes, they might be old, but they're old because they've been around forever. They're a recognised qualification. So although your local college probably doesn't come up on the first page of Google, it's a good option to give your local college a call and see what they can do with electrical training. And the courses, they do take around 3 years and they're not crammed into 15 months, which I think that might be an advantage to you because you'll actually have time to learn and take it all in. And then in addition to learning at college, I think it'll be a huge advantage to get on site and actually do the work. So get a cover letter prepared, the details of what you're putting yourself through college yourself to become an electrician, and you'd like to work alongside Electrician for now to obviously learn more. And go to Google and send it to every single electrical company in your area. You might get 100 no's. No, thank you. We're not looking for improvers, or we're not looking for labourers or electricians mates. Well, that's all right, because now they've got your letter and your details to be able to call you up when they are. But all you're really looking for is one yes. So if someone says, yes, we've got a project at the minute you could probably help on, then jump at the chance, get on site. The best experience for an electrician will be actually hands-on to get it done. Because if you sit in a classroom all day and you're reading books, sometimes your mind, it does go numb. But if you want to be an electrician, you must be good at having a hands-on experience and a bit of DIY maybe. So when you actually do something, it will stick in your brain that little bit easier. And I think with working on site, you'll get to be more confident in what you're doing. You're confident with your wiring or confident with your work. And it will also help you get more confident with customers. And this will put you in a good position to start your own business in the future. And if you're in that position where you're maybe going through college, you're doing your level 1, 2 or 3, you're looking for work, you're looking for on-site experience, get in contact with me and I'll help you with a cover letter. Because as I've run an electrical business for over 20 years, I could tell you what electrical companies are actually looking for in maybe someone giving them a hand or electrician's mate. So you don't need to be 16-year-olds and go get an apprenticeship. Sometimes you may not even have to pay for the training yourself. So go to your local college and stay away from these internet courses that just sound like they want your money and they're not really interested in actually helping you become qualified. They fool you this jargon, like the things they tell you. He's telling me again as well, oh, you can do 12 houses a year on a rewire, which is £5,000 a house. Well, hang about, mate. Not every house is the same. And what about materials? He just coaxed me in to try to butter me up to think, yeah, this is a good idea. I'll part with my money today. So obviously I want to be speaking to him again. The college route, yeah, it does take a little more time, but 3 years to become a qualified electrician and having an understanding how dangerous electricity can be, well, it might just save your life one day. So good luck, and until next time. Get inside the Toolbox Talks for Electricians group and post your experience with what we've talked about today. I'll leave a link to the group in the show notes below. Until next time, I'll see you again.